Hello and welcome to Eden Talks. Monica is still on assignment. As my guest this evening I have BBW Talks Toys from Eden Fantasies. So BBW Talks Toys, what does that mean? I assume that it doesn't mean fluffy sheep dolls or building blocks. What sorts of toys do you talk about?
I leave the sheep talk to Vaccine Yum. He seems to have an unnatural love for things that bellow and eat grass. I think it's the ecologist in him. I don't judge though. You're right, it's not Legos or G.I. Joes that I talk about. I talk about sex toys. My screen name is especially appropriate because I even talk about sex toys in my day-to-day life. It's just who I am.
Just who you are. I am beginning to wonder what goes on at Eden Fantasies that turns ordinary men and women into sex-focused. One might say, obsessed reviewers and bloggers. What is the attraction for a wife and mother like yourself?
What goes on at Eden is no secret. Nor are we all sex-crazed freaks. I mean, sure we are, but we have other interests too. For instance, the clubs. We have 11 clubs over at Eden Fantasies, and only 2 of them are sex-centric. Personally, I run a club that centers on healthy living and another one that centers on films. And not pornographic movies, that is another club. The attraction for a wife and mother such as myself is the fact that I really love the ability to connect with people who are like-minded. And to do it on my own time.
When did you discover that you were different from other women? Did you always have an unnatural attraction to sex objects?
Well, who doesn't have an attraction to sex objects? I wouldn't call it unnatural. And since most of the contributors here are women, I would venture that I'm not all that different from other women. Let me ask you, Bill, why do you always want to interview us sex toy reviewers? Methinks the unnatural attraction is on your part.
Sex sells, you know the formula. What sorts of toys were you initially attracted to? Have you ever tried any type of toy that left you feeling dirty or ashamed?
What's to feel dirty or ashamed over? Initially I was attracted to clitoral vibrators. It quickly evolved into glass toys, metal, and almost anything lovely to do with my G-spot.
What advice would you offer women who find themselves interested in sex toys?
I would recommend that they begin with toys that are designed for the area of their body they stimulate most during manual masturbation. If they like to stimulate their clitoris, I would recommend a clitoral vibrator. If they like to stimulate their G-spot, I would recommend a dildo or toy that has a G-spot curve. From there, they can experiment and discover new zones of pleasure. But I recommend that you start with what you know.
The producers tell me we need to go to commercial break. We will get back to answering the question. Sex toys, hobby or obsession? When we return.